What is up, YouTube? That's here today. I'm back playing some more Pokemon VGC Reg Wi-Fi battles. Today we're busting out a super cool team that uses Necrozma Dusk Mane, Blood Moon Ursaluna with Suicune. Like, look at this. Look at this little guy. We're busting out the Suicune today. One of my absolute favorite Pokemon. This mon is so good when paired with Duskmane. They cover each other's weaknesses very, very well. If something like an Incin wants to come in and bully this Duskmane, because we're not rocking Clear Amulet and our coverage isn't very good into Incin, Suicune makes a really, really good pivot into that. Rocky Helmet allows us to do chip damage to the Incin. Inner Focus makes so they can't fake out us with the Incin or its teammates, and then we have like big Scalds doing those big stab water damage, and we can fish for burns on a bunch of other mons like Urshi Water, Zamazenta, Chenpao, and the like. This team is actually really, really cool. I think it's a fun team. Like I want to run down some of the mons here, but it's going to be like Trick Room, Moonlight, Photon Geyser, Sunsteel Strike. Really, really cool set on a Psy Seeds, Necrozma, Duskmane. Rocking a full bulk. This is like a bulky Shadow Rider. So we actually are going to be trying to set Trick Room with either of our restricteds. Very, very cool stuff here. We have the Expanding Force Astral Barrage, and we're going to have a hard time dealing with Wide Guard users, but that being said, we have the right tools on the single target Duskmane, the single target Blood Moon to pick up those KOs if we need to. Suicune is a really, really good mon. I like the Dark Terror here so much because it lets us avoid Prankster Taunts if we still want to get up our Tailwinds, and it allows us to block the Shadow Riders and then do additional damage if we need to with those then like stabbed Snarls. Really, really cool set here. I love this set so much. Speed control through the roof with like damage mitigation. This thing's great into stuff like Lunala. Clefairy, very, very standard. Grass Terra to go for Follow Me to redirect spores from Amoonguss, but like Follow Me after you. I really like to lead like Clef Shadow Rider a lot and just go Follow Me TR, and then that Shadow Rider actually will probably underspeed a lot of stuff and can just rip Astrals, but if it doesn't, I can then just after you my own Shadow Rider and just win. So it's kind of like a reverse Indity, or sorry, Lilligant Torkoal type play. Really, really cool stuff. This is actually a full speed Blood Moon, so you actually want this guy to work inside of Tailwind from our Suicune more often than not. We're making people think that we have like full bulk, and then we're just ripping like fast Hyper Voice. This thing's outspeeds Shadow Rider if we have a Tailwind behind it. Very, very cool tech. And last but not least, we're rocking a Stellar Terra, full special attack, quiet speed reduced 0 speed Indity female with a focus sash. I really, really like this guy. People think they can just OHKO Indity. They're thinking that the Shadow Rider's holding the sash since this is like a close team sheet best of one type of thing here on the ladder, and they're not expecting us to go like Stellar Terra Shadow Ball OHKO their Shadow Rider, or like a Stellar Terra Psychic like OHKO their Urshifu or something like that. It's so much damage. This thing just is made of so much damage, and Stellar Terra is my personal favorite Terra type, so I think it's really, really cool here without sacrificing that like normal Terra, or sorry, those normal typings that I actually need to block my opposing Shadow Rider Astrals. Really, really cool team. I like this one a lot. Before we get into the games, I want to do a quick reminder, reminding everyone that we're still trying to get to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube before the end of the year. We're currently at 44,000 and some change on 600, and if you guys have within your hearts to drop a sub on the channel, I would really appreciate it. It's completely free. And we're pumping out daily Reg I videos. We have these Reg I really cool teams that we're using here that feature a bunch of really meme mons. We're featuring the team fixings. We're doing some more team building guides. We're going to be popping out some more tier lists, hosting some tournaments. And I'm even thinking about like recasting some of the regionals from like other regionals that are going on for Reg I as well, to give you guys even more educational content to help you guys become the best players you can possibly be before Worlds, before you actually decide to take steps in your own Pokemon journey, or if you're even on your Pokemon journey already. I just want to be the guy to help. So think about dropping a sub if that at all sounds fun. And without further ado, let's get right onto these games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, we're going up against Super Standard Shadow Rider Zamazenta Pal. It's weird to see the Amoonguss there instead of the Rillaboom, but I really think that's a good adjustment for like changing that team a little bit. I still think it's going to be like the Life Orb Pow Sash Shadow Rider. I think that's probably the best way to do it. But I do think we have a lot of value if we want to use Necrozma here. I think we also need to understand what we need to do to bully the Incin. I think Incin and Zenta can both be bullied by Ursa, but I need to get up Trick Room. So one thing about them having a Amoonguss means they're cutting their terrain user. So I can just lead Indity absolutely free. I think I'm going to lead Indity Shadow Rider, maybe even condition the Zenta into something like a Wide Guard or something, making it look like I'm going for Expanding, go for the Follow Me TR, bring out the Blood Moon, and just rip it. That sounds good to me. I think I'm going to bring the Necrozma in the back, even though Suicune is honestly, I think, a better choice. I think Necrozma's fine. Necrozma's not that great here, but if there's nothing to question our terrain and we can get a Spadef boost off it, like, I'll play with that. I think that's fair. Our Necrozma's running like Fire Terra too. So if like they want to Wisp or something like in Sim, we can pop that Terra, be in a good spot. It has Trick Room too if we need like a secondary late game Trick Room setter. Only thing I think is weird here is like I bet I'm gonna underspeed or like outspeed that Incineroar with my Blood Moon since we're so fast. That being said, I think this is a good lead for us. So this is fine. What are you gonna do here? You're gonna wide guard, right? You're definitely wide guarding. And what we need to do is find a way to get Blood Moon in and get up the Trick Room. So that looks something a little bit like Trick Room here and pivot Blood Moon right here. And then we have the pin on the Zenta. Or we just go after their Shadow Rider. But I think it's a really good line because you also can't... They're not going to double into the Indity here, I don't think. If anything, they would throw, like, if they have, like, a Pollen Puff or, like, a Dark Pulse or something from the Shadow Rider, they would use that into Indity, but they wouldn't go, like, double into the Indity while ignoring the Shadow Rider. They're probably, if anything, throwing out an Astral and a Wide Guard is my guess. And so, oh my gosh, I forgot to move this back. Oh my gosh, never lucky, right? Here we go. Okay. There's the Terra. Awesome. Really cool to see that off the rip. Let's see what's Terra. And so, if they Terra the Shadow Rider, they can't Terra the Zenta, which means this Earth Power's about to cook, bro. Fairy Terra. Not bad. And I don't think they're going to have Expanding Force. They probably have Psychic, so like I can honestly just click like Redirection, I think. Wide Guard, there it is. Easy peasy. See how we forced that by having the Entity? And what? Astral? What Mao? What Mao? Ah! I hope you're Spexed, bro. Bro, I hope that you're Spexed. I'm trying to think of which one of these Mons is more of a threat. I think I'm actually just going to double the Zenta. Because, like, what are you going to do? Like, Draining Kiss my Blood Moon? Like, I don't really care. They could attack the Blood Moon with a Psychic, I guess. But, like, I can just redirect that. You know I can. Then I'm just going to follow me. Like, yeah, you know what? Like, hey, why be weird, right? Go for the Zenta slot. Nice. Yeah, they just don't have any other options here. I think if I doubled the Psychic and the Earth Power into the Zenta, they go down. Because this is a full special attack Entity. But that being said, this is a fine play. They definitely would have went down. They're going to go for the Body Press. Hopefully they don't snarl or something weird. Body Press is fine. And so now what I can do is just go Psychic. And I can rip a Blood Moon into this Shadow Rider. I don't need to double dip my Terra because I think they could still be sashed. Probably not, but I can just rip a Blood Moon there. Cool. I could honestly even rip the Psychic into the Shadow Rider. Awesome. That thing pivoting is so nice for me. It's going to lose its defense boost. We have the right mod. Suicune can beat it now, or Dusk Mane can beat it now, right? There's the Amoonguss on a Psychic, bro! The double pivot. Show me that in Sim, baby. Where you looking, huh? Huh? Oh my gosh. Bruh. Not like this, though. This is why you need Rillaboom to take away that terrain, right? This is what the Rillaboom does for the team. And while I like the adjustment of Amoonguss, you can't just, like, kind of change out one mon. It doesn't work like that. So really, really cool stuff. That Amoonguss goes down in one hit. No threat of Spore. We might KO your Incin. It's a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, dude. Blood Moon's like basically another restricted. Bro! Dude, where are you looking? Oh my gosh. That's so much damage. That's just a significant amount. Okay. So they see also that the Indy's slower than the Blood Moon, which is like a weird tell, but it is what it is. So we can't get the KO here. I think I'm just going to go Psychic, and I kind of want a Hyper Voice, honestly. I think that's a win in every single situation. 2 turns on TR. I think if I Psychic your Zenta and just throw out like a Hyper Voice, like, because it's a lot of damage. I guess it's the same as Earth Power's fine. We're going to be fine. Nothing they can really do in this situation. They lose the Zenta. Yeah, I guess Earth Power is better than Hyper Voice here just because it has a Spit F drop chance, but like honestly, like what do you do? Who is your daddy and what does he do? EP baby! Oof. I think if I double dip my normal Terra and hit that Hyper Voice single target, they would have been gone, but I'm not in a hurry. My Blood Moon's gonna be up next turn. What do you do, like Draining Kiss? Like, that's fine. It's okay. We are not gone. Alright. Yep. And now you're going to protect, and I'm going to Blood Moon, and, you know, all these different... Oh, that's a lot of health back, though. But Blood Moon's going to get this KO, right? Last turn terrain. So we just go Psychic. And... Psychic and Hyper Voice is enough to get the KO too. Yeah, this is fine. Because it's still terrain boosted. You don't resist the Psychic anymore. Look at that. Look at that damage. Entity's the restricted now. I'm the captain now. Spadef drop busted. Hyper Voice ripping it. Don't even need Blood Moon, bro. Woo! Dang. Dude, I knew I was onto something when I thought about, like, Blood Moon on this core. You need Blood Moon to be able to, like, check the Zenta. It's great pivot into the Shadow Rider. It checks the Incin. Everything we wanted this team to do to check a really bad matchup worked perfectly in this game for us. Wins. All right, Miraidon and Groudon. Okay, so Blood Moon's usable here again. I might just be on a bit of a Blood Moon kick, let's be real. I think Shadow Rider is definitely usable here too. They have Wide Guard, but like, I just want to set Trick Room. I do not mind Indity and Shadow Rider. I don't think it's like bad at all. I really, really like it. Especially against like Miraidon teams. I think those two, plus the Ursa to pivot in on that Miraidon if they ever want to go for like an electric attack, with like Dusk Mane to be able to come back out. Dusk Mane's still probably fine into Groudon. I don't think we need Suicune. Clefairy is usable, but like, I don't think we need Clefairy. It'd be nice to have a little bit of healing, but like, I think Necrozma is just fine without it, so I think we're good. I really, really like this team. I entered it in a like online tournament too, and it didn't do that great in like best of 3 open team sheet, but like I still think it's a really cool team. I think it's a really cool idea. Double redirection with like hard Trick Room. Like, people don't expect the Shadow Riders EVs to look like this. They don't expect it to be like a full bulk Shadow Rider. Their leverage, like, they need to be respectful of the fact this Shadow Rider should be able to outspeed those guys and just roll them. But we totally can't. Like, we absolutely cannot. That being said, I think I'm just going to Psychic the Iron Valiant and just Trick Room with the Shadow Rider. I know that looks like so nutty, but like, I'm trying to think of a situation in which like I get massively punished here. Let's see if you have Booster. Nice, that means you're not Sash, which means this Psychic just KOs. And you should be going like Wide Guard P-Blades? That's fine. I mean, it sucks, but like, it's fine. Do I need a TR here? I do need a TR because you're going to open up a spot for the Miraidon. This is where if I had Clef, it'd be really nice. But I think this is okay. Trick Room's up. Wide Guard. See, I don't particularly care about that. See how we forced, just like the first game, force that Wide Guard, break the wrist, walk away. P-Blades, awesome. You outspeed my Shadow Rider. I mean, you outspeed my Entity, right? Big Psychic. There's a shot that's like a Scarf Groudon too. It's not. It should. There's no way that that Groudon outspeeds my Shadow Rider, but like, it'd be really cool. I'm gonna force him to hit these P-Blades, bro. I'm gonna force it. What I'm planning on doing here is probably protecting Shadow Rider next turn, and then either pivoting in Ursaluna or letting Entity go down and bringing out Ursaluna, and then just pinning like really, really hard. Because now your Wide Guard's gone, and I feel like I'm in a pretty decent spot. They were not expecting that TR, so like that Flutter Mane that you have back there, see how that's the Flutter Mane right there? See how like we knew that they had to go Flutter Mane here? They're like, eh. They're like, nutty! Alright, the right play is to chunk the Groudon, because that's the thing that like Blood Moon's gonna have to go after. So Psychic, and we just don't want to ever have a situation in which like it's single target P-Blades damage into our Shadow Rider, so we're just gonna protect. We don't need to do anything weird, we just want to open up a spot for, what is that? For whatever mon that is, Blood Moon to come out. And if you go Fire Terra, like, absolutely love you a long time. That Power about to cook. EP about to cook, baby. Oh, yes. I mean, now I don't need to use Blood Moon. I still think Blood Moon is a lot of damage. But, EP about to finish this guy off. So there's a Protect here. Don't need to get cheeky. We underspeed, like I said. That's probably Sashed Indity. Or, sorry, Sashed Flutter Mane. Now, also, the Flutter Mane can't go Terra. So, like, these Astral, if I get my hands on stuff, will chunk. Really cool to see that they're heat crashing. Huh. I think I'm just going to bring out the Blood Moon, and I think I'm going to go... I low-key think Hyper Voice gets it. Like, Hyper Voice Astral will get this after the Psychic. This is another, like, solid... Oh, actually, that Photon Geyser's about to, like, dump truck this Groudon, isn't it? It will. I just gotta... It will. It definitely will. That's definitely a thing. I think I'm just gonna go Water Terra and then win. Looking at the board state, like, Hyper Voice and Water Terra to block the Heat Crash. And we just Astral instead of expanding because we don't want them pivoting out one of those slots from Miraidon and taking away our terrain. And the Flutter Mane can't go normal Terra. We're in a great spot here. Water Terra, Shadow Rider, busted. And we don't even really know. They might Outspeed. No, they can't. They can't be scarfed because they've shown 2 different moves. So there's no way that Groudon outspeeds our Shadow Rider. Because we still have 171 speed at level 50. Alright. Protect. Hey, great play. We're going to get a double tap on your Flutter Mane, though. And Flutter Mane's going to... Yeah, this is going to give us a nice plus... Oh, double protect. Cool, they're waiting out the TR. Awesome. That works. They're trying to get my Terras out. I guess in this situation, we're going to have to mix it up a wee tad. And I think what I'm going to do is just then Earth Power the Groudon. Keep them very honest. And I know that Flutter Mane's most likely sashed. So I think I'm just going to start getting like set up for the later half of the game. I don't need to pop this Flutter Mane. There's no reason for me to just like let you Moonblast my Shadow Rider here. Turns on TR R2. I'm not just going to give this to you. I'm assuming you're sashed and that you're not booster. So we're going to Earth Power to pick up that KO. What do you have? Miraidon in the back? You have to pivot that thing in, and then it'll just take an Earth Power and be really sad. We're going to pivot in the Necrozma while we can. Note that we're slower than the Flutter Mane too. So like, if they were to pivot out Groudon from Miraidon, I don't get my Seeds boost, but then they lose their Miraidon. But if they're not pivoting at all, I get to get my Seeds boost before that Miraidon comes in, which allows my Dusk Mane to just check the Miraidon, in my opinion. So Dusk Mane bust to give me that Spadef boost, baby. Let's go. I wonder if he's going for like a double protect. See it. Flutter Mane goes for a double. Not gonna care. I don't even take any damage here. And big EP, baby. Oof. El Diablo going down for the count. And now you have a Miraidon, which probably doesn't have... It's probably Specs, right? So this is the last turn of TR. Just double into it and take those wins all the way to the bank. Thank you for showing that, Terra. I really appreciate it. And it makes all of your mons a lot easier to pin. There's the Miraidon. More like Miraidon. Yeah, Earth Power might just get the KO itself. But there shouldn't be a way that they actually break anything. I mean, they could have like a Protect Miraidon, like Life Orb Protect Miraidon. I mean, I've seen weirder stuff before, but we just double into it. You do not go into the Flutter, because the Flutter might be protecting them here because the Protect's on cooldown, or off cooldown, sorry. So if you just double protect here and wait out the TR, things will get a little dicier, but I still like low-key think we can eat a double up from like Shadow Ball and Electro Drift on Dusk Mane after a +1, because even though the terrain's changed, I still actually retain the +1 Spadef boost from my Psy Seeds. So what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? No Terra. He gets the protect here. And that it's not protecting Miraidon because it would have protected already. That's why I don't like Specs Miraidon, man. Mon just like comes out, wrong time, gets dump trucked, and that's it. Blood Moon is the absolute massive carry. Like Dusk Mane, oh, Rage Quit too, bro. I'd be mad. I'd be furious if I got dump trucked on by Dusk Mane and like zero speed Shadow Rider. Alright, so we gotta watch out for that Pelipper Y-Guard and Zenta Y-Guard. A lot of Y-Guard shenanigans over there. How do we want to deal with this? Suicune is actually like not bad into a lot of these mons. I think you can actually just lead Suicune here. What are they gonna do? Like Flutter? Like I don't really care. You can taunt. Like I want to stick Snarls and Icy Winds. I think Suicune and Shadow Rider are actually like good here. I think that's a really, really solid lead. Or we could do something like Indity Blood Moon. I think that's a solid lead as well. I think I'm going to lead Suicune. Trade Tailwinds with them. I think that's fine. Yeah, let's open up with those. We're going to bring the Necrozma, and then I'm going to bring the Indity. We don't really need Blood Moon here. I think Suicune, I'm going to try and stick a burn into the Zenta, and that's how we deal with Zenta. I think that's like kind of where I'm looking for this one. Normally, if they have Zenta and Incin, or like Zenta and something you need to KO with Blood Moon, you bring the Blood Moon, right? But like I don't think we really need to here. I think because like it's gonna be built around like Pelipper, Zenta shenanigans. I think that we're probably just gonna get more value out of like sitting on Suicune in this situation. So Ursh and Flutter Mane. This is actually a really cool situation where you're gonna go for the Surging Strikes into my Shadow Rider, right? I'm actually gonna Tailwind just in your face and just Astral. Like, what do you do if I just like sit this Tailwind and then Astral? We could Trick Room here. I don't think Trick Room's needed. I think Tailwind's going to be a little bit better in the long run. Just check out your mons here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Fat Astral. And what are you going to do? Go for like a U-turn or something? Like, are you going to... What Terra are you going on this Flutter? Are you going normal? I really don't care if they go normal. That makes so they can't Terra something else. It's actually still really good for us. They think they have like the biggest check, and it's like, all you did was not die this turn, and then I'm just going to double you next turn, or like pivot out. You don't get anything out of this. you know? You're faster than me anyways. Like, it's such a weird play. Because, like, I still get my boost on the Ursh or clock the Ursh Sash. So unless the Ursh is, like, protecting, like, I guess you would have potentially gotten my Terra out of it. But, like, I don't think that we're really that pinned here because Suicune is just in such a good spot. Surging Strikes, yeah, you're not getting anything out of that. Water Terra is so good there. And that Scarf Ursh, they're showing Scarf Ursh right here, which means it's going to get rampaged on by this Shadow Rider. And the next turn, Shadow Rider is going to be able to get the outspeed if it needs it. And they have to remember, now they can pivot in Indeedee and just fold if I want to. Shadow Ball, it's not going to get the KO though. Even if you're Specs, that would. Yep. Sped F drop's not important at this point in the game. Big damage. Big, big, big damage. I'd love to KO this Ursh, but let's see. Awesome. That's a +1 for your boy out here. +1. Cool. Great to see. There's that Tailwind punish too. Love that for me. Love that. So I'm thinking they're going to go... Do you go Ogre here? Zenta. Okay. I wonder if I can Oko Zenta. Indeedee pivot in Expanding Force would like win the game, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm going to go for a Scald here and just drop 1 Protect. I don't need to be weird about it. Protecting, let's see if any of their mons protecting. Wide Guard, there it is. It's always going to be there. Always stays fresh. Trying to get a little bit of damage, maybe fish for a burn. It'd be great. Never lucky. Okay. Big damage. So spexed. Es muy spexed. I mean, if it's specs, then I take out the Zenta here, I just win. So, like, Scald plus single target expanding should get that. Okay, I could have went for the pivot in Indeedee. That's just way too fat. That's a fat Zenta. I need to get a burn here, otherwise I'm going to lose 2 mons. There we go, we take those. Yeah, nice. And then Zenta's going to get KO'd by... I don't know if Zenta KOs the Suicune from here, it shouldn't. But now that Flutter Mane is going to be left with no one else to pivot to, lock in his Shadow Ball, we have Indeedee, right? That's the idea here. Body Press, don't KO me, bro. Don't KO me. You're burned. Leave me alone. There we go. And take that Rocky Helmet chip on the way out. Take that burn chip on the way out. We take those all the way to the bank. Yo, big burns. Big burns. Zenta Dunzo. Cool. Yeah, we are in a great spot. You can no longer switch. You're locked into Shadow Ball and Specs Flutter, and then, like, Indeedees, bro. Follow me, please, though. Let's go. Do I Trick Room here? I think you just Trick Room here. Ooh, it's Kyogre, though. This is a hard one. You're going to Shadow Ball my Suicune, and I have to live with that. I think the right play here is actually just Snarl. I know that looks weird. It's just Snarl, and then just Trick Room. And then you bring in the Dusk Mane, and you just Photon Geyser rip that Kyogre a new one. Happy to hit these Snarls, too. Good stuff. Cool. There's the Shadow Ball. And I don't care about your single target, Super Mega Spout. I'm sashed, right? Kyogre got no multi-hit moves. The power of Photon Geyser compels you. Big Spout. Not big enough, though. And then Psychic plus Photon Geyser boosted in terrain should get the KO. And there's no reason to follow me here because Ogre's slower than the Kyogre. So if Kyogre comes in and goes for like an Origin Pulse or like a Spout again, and it KOs the Indeedee, there's no way to like redirect that. So it's actually just the right play to just double into this Kyogre in every single situation because that Flutter's also at -1. It's not going to do that much to Necrozma. We have a +1 Spit Up boost, and we have the Prism Armor ability. This Photon Geyser's ripping it. Rip roaring and snoring. Big Psychic from Indeedee, who also underspeeds Ogre. Look at that damage. That's so much. Big Geyser. Big. Big Geyser. And you cannot win this game now because you can't even hit the Indeedee anymore. Oh, that feels so good. Look at this. Not doing anything, by the way. Nothing. Not a zilch. Nothing. Specs? Never heard of it. This is why you do not go Terra on the first turn with your Flutter Mains. Like, normal Terra Flutter Main seems cool on paper. Nah, not worth it. It's bait. And then we finish this guy off with an absolutely massive Photon Geyser again. Dude, this team is so good. Dusk Mane. Dump trucking these people. If they don't got Incin, Dusk Mane just like a free win against these guys. It's so good. Photon Geyser can hit physical or special depending on how much more damage they would take from either side. So like even if you get like intimidated into the ground, Photon Geyser then would just be like a kind of decent special attack. Like we have a 113 base. Even though we're at like special attack reduced, we have a 113 base special attack, and like it's just decent damage, especially with the terrain boost. The terrain boost makes it absolutely massive. We're gonna play one more game, and I think we've now used every one of the mons. We've used the Suicune, we used the Blood Moon, Clef, Indeedee. So yeah, this last game is gonna be a lot of fun. This is your reminder though, if you have not, think about dropping a sub. This is the only place you're going to see crazy things like Blood Moon Dusk Mane popping out in Reg I with a little bit of Suicune support. If you guys like what we're doing here, I would really appreciate if you want to think about dropping a sub on the channel. It's completely free. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're currently at 44,600 and change. And if we get 1 or 2 subscribers every single day, it's going to bring it just that much closer to the goal. So if you guys like the content, think about dropping the sub, and let's get into that last game. Wish me luck. Here we go. All right, this last one's going to be dicey. So they got the Zenta and the Shadow Rider, right? With the POW, there's that Rilla that makes the Indeedee a lot harder to use. And they have the Incin. So since they have 2 things that like we need Blood Moon to check, being the Incin and the Zenta, I think it's a good idea to go Blood Moon. I'm trying to think though what I could do here that really, really helps. I'm actually low-key thinking about going like Suicune Blood Moon lead. Like, what do you do if I do that? You just lead Ursh and win. Okay, so I don't want that. I'm going to lead Shadow Rider, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did in the first one. I'm just going to fold your Ursh on the first turn. So we need to lead something with Shadow Rider that pulls pressure away. They just... Alright, so like we need to make the Ursh look like the Shadow Rider String Strikes is the most best play ever, so they won't protect, they won't pivot, they won't do anything where they're going to take the bait. We need to give them, we need to dangle Shadow Rider on a string. So we're going to lead Suicune Shadow Rider, just like we did in the last one. By showing the Suicune, that shows that we have no Surging Strike pivots, so they just go into the Shadow Rider, we flip on our Terra, we trade 1 for 1, and then from there, that's going to set up into us getting a Tailwind, which means we can close the game out with things like Ursaluna. And I'm not going to bring the Dusk Mane, I'm going to bring the Indeedee for a little bit of priority control to keep that, Shempow and Rilla from like dump trucking us with like priority moves. So that's the line that we're going for here. You guys can run these same sort of lines too if you want to play a lot of games with your teams. I've probably played about 20-ish games with this team. I've been working on it for a while. I think it's a good one. And yeah, like Suicune is a really, really like bully, like bulky mon, and if they want to lead something like completely different like Shadow Rider and just go full ham right off the rip, we would be able to like go Dark Terra and like wall it out there too. So that's the exact lead that we're looking for. That's exactly it. We're forcing the potential for a wide guard here. We're going to threaten that Ursh with a Psychic, an Expanding Force non-boosted by terrain. We're going to set up the Tailwind so we actually outspeed that Zenta for the rest of the game, and then we're going to try and like burn the Zenta. That's the idea here. So Tailwind's up, Water Terra up, Expanding Force up. We're hoping that they're not terastallizing with their Ursh, but if they do, it comes with a whole other bunch of bonuses. Like if they terastallize their Ursh Water Terra, we're going to be able to pin that with, what is that? With like, we're going to be able to pin the Zenta with like the Blood Moon and stuff. So we're in a good spot here. The fact that we're terastallizing first is a good sign. They could still be Sash Ursh too. Like they can. I'm not going to say that that's like crazy, whatever, weird. Like I think Sash Ursh is still really common, but they have so many mons that could be Sash. See how we're always forcing that wide guard? We're never once taking the bait. You need to wide guard me. I don't need to do anything. Whatever, you can bring it in Sin here, and that's a great play. Bringing in Sin here, that's a great play, and that is Scarf Ursh. And so now that we know it's Scarf Ursh. Okay, good play, great play. They got us, bro. They had us in the first half and the second half. And I got my Tailwind up, which is nice. But, I'm thinking the last one of the Shadow Riders, they don't have Rillaboom in this match. And that's fine. I think it's going to be good. I still need to burn that Zenta. Like, it sucks that I need to burn Zenta, but, like, I'm going to Scald the Incin for 1 turn and go for Protect. I think it's really lame that I have to play this lame, but it's fine. Great play from our opponent. They're trying to set up to win with Ursh in the back. I have no more defensive Terra, which means, like, if I lose my Suicune here, I'm in for a bad time. Blood Moon gets massively checked, Indy gets massively checked. I'm not accepting the fake out bait. Let's see if we can stick some great damage in this Incin. Not going for the burn Incin. That's so much damage on Suicune. So much. Body Press Suicune, take a Rocky Helmet Tick, my friend. And we should be able to live one more of those. So this is going to condition them into body pressing the Shadow Rider. Is there anything I can do about that? I can pivot in my Indity and Scald there. Doesn't get me what I want, though. Do I need Shadow Rider to win this game? I don't think that I do. I actually think if I stick Scald into there and just rip an Astral, if you're wide guarding me, you know what you're not doing? See, if you're protecting too, you know what you're not doing? You're not wide guarding, which means we're actually going to KO on your Incin this turn, and even if you had like a Citrus Berry or something, it's not going to activate. So we're actually picking up a juicy KO on this Incin. This guy probably cannot believe we clicked an AoE move, but like, yeah, the only mon that actually threatened our Shadow Rider there was the Zenta, so it's completely fine. Okay. So let's see, is it your Shadow Rider coming out? It'd be a really good play if it's your Shadow Rider here. Okay, I'm running out of options. Alright, so we're going to Scald their Zenta and pivot in Indie? Such a weird looking play here. No, I think the right play, I know this looks absolutely horrid, is Scald Zenta and Psychic Zenta, and then go down and then bring out Indie, and we don't die yet, and we just go like protect, Trick Room, and then try and win out in TR. That's the best play that's the best line that I'm seeing. Cool. Kyogre protects. Okay. Why would I ever take the bait, bro? Like I don't need to Astral you. Cool. Great damage here. Not losing a Mon. I mean, we're probably gonna lose our Shadow Rider unless we get a burn here. I'll take a burn though. Burn it. Never lucky. And I think this is fine. This is gonna allow us to, like I was talking about, get that. We're gonna get up a Trick Room here. Yep. You're probably thinking the Zenta goes into the Indity. You might double the Indity, but then like, should I be Trick Rooming and Tailwinding and hoping that one works? That's not a bad play. It's not. It's really not. I think I'm going to Snarl here to break Sash on Kali. That's fair. And then TR. And then I pin your Ursh with Psychic if Indity ever lives, but I doubt. Let's see what happens. We got shots here. Here's their Terra. Love to see that for us. Are you double dipping Ghost? Are you going Dark? Let's see. Grass. That could be really bad, because, like, if you top off your Sash every turn... Are you in Sash? We don't know yet. Astral. Cool. You are allowed to KO this Suicune, by the way. No one's saying you can't. Oh, I lived. The boy who lived. And you're orbed. Great stuff for us. You do not stop this TR, homie. Mm-mm. We got that Sash. Thought you were hot stuff? Nah. Great damage. Love that. Love it. Absolutely love it. We just got to do a little bit of damage into... We need to be able to lock out their ability. How do I want to word this? We need to lock out their ability. You can't KO both. They show Protect on both. I need to actually make a read here. If I can KO the Zenta, I win. And I think that they know that, but they don't know what my last one is. They're actually probably thinking my last one's Dusk Mane, which means they probably don't think they need Zenta anymore. I'm going to make a hard read. Hard read, going to Zenta. Zenta can protect. It's allowed to. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. It really, really does suck. But you can't KO both of my Mons. This should still be a really, really solid, board for me. I just don't want to lose my Indity. I think that's the Mon that I'm most worried about losing here. Okay. That's great. Yeah, I don't care about that. They targeted the wrong Mon. Indity's the threat. I don't know if you know that, like, Psychic just rips your Ursh to shreds. But, like, we got good lines here. We just come with the Blood Moon here. We're going to have to Blood Moon their Calyrex, which is going to then go on cooldown. And then, like, I carry your Zenta with Psychic. I think. It's okay. You got Scarf Ursh in the back, which cannot pivot in on this Psychic or the Blood Moon. They're respecting Dusk Mane here, not Blood Moon. Okay, let's see what they got. Astro ain't gonna do it. Psychic's good in a Blood Moon, but like, I think Blood Moon is one of KOs. Honestly, I do think it does. Psychic should KO here. Oh yes, that full special attack, quiet nature entity. Like, bro, the chunkening is so real. Let's go. Let's rip it. They should have also gone with the Indie so they could then Astral. Oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about here. Yeah, whoo! That's so good. So good. Nice. This guy's like, what? Didn't even bring his other restricted. Yo, Blood Moon's my restricted. I said it the first time. Show me that Scarf Ursh. See, these people on ladder with their normal Terra flutters and their Scarf Ursh, like they're trying to go for the cheese championships out here, and we're just like, you know what, man? Like, sometimes you just gotta like put up a TR, use a good old-fashioned focus sash, and say like, you show me yours, I'll show you mine, not the other way around. Aqua Jet, yeah, there's a terrain, bro. It's terrain. It's terrain gaming out here. Nah, you ain't got that, bro. It's all. We take those wins. Choice Scarf Ursh, get out of here, bro. With that. And we take those wins all the way to the bank, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this Reg-I content. We've been pumping out so many cool teams for Reg-I, and they're only going to get better. We're starting to make more team building guides. We're starting to make more tier lists. There's so much competitive Reg-I content, and I'm also thinking about casting some regionals as well as like a secondary like cast. If you guys want to see me do that, please think about let me know in the comments. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and other than that, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.